Okay, Panzer J back, and we're here with Japan turn 10.3 in Operation Live and Let Die. So Japan is in rough shape, to say the least. We've got enemies on every side. The United States entered the conflict last turn and declared war on Japan. So they've got a bunch of naval units in the Pacific that are starting to make their way closer to the Japanese. The Japanese also have been losing some of the money islands the last couple of turns to the Far East Command and and Anzac and the British Commonwealth in general. And in Manchuria, they're slowly losing territories to a combination of the FEC, the CCP, and the Soviet Union. So definitely rough times for Japan here. So we're going to go ahead on this turn and do one kind of, not necessarily desperate attack, but one kind of throw of the dice 50-50 kind of thing. Now, if Japan wasn't in such dire straits, then probably would forego this attack coming up and instead just kind of, continue to build up forces. But the balance has shifted way onto the side of the Japanese opponent. So let's start out with some tech rolls. We have 2 tech rolls for the Japanese, and we're going to go for improved construction, which is at stage 3. So we're trying to finish that off. And then long-range aircraft, which is at stage 1. So both of these require a 7. So let's go for long-range aircraft first. And we get a 12. So we're up to stage 2 for that. And then improved construction is a 7. And we got a 7. Holy cow, look at that. There you go. The Japanese coming through with 2 for 2. That is a minor miracle. Probably too late to do much, but we'll take it. So we're up to stage 4 and complete for improved construction. And we'll move up to stage 2 for long-range aircraft. Okay, so that is our tech rolls. As far as our money, we have $34 to spend, and we're going to spend 32 of it. So we're going to save 2, and for 32 bucks, we're going to buy 2 fighters for 10 apiece, and then 4 infantry for 12. Okay, so those are our purchases. Now on to our attacks. We have several attacks going on. So the first one is going to be this fighter in Kyushu is going to fly over and kill off that Far East Command transport. So that's going to be one combat move. Another one is going to be everything here in Eastern Manchuria is going to come down to Korea and take on those 2 FEC infantry. It's a cavalry, a motorized, and I believe either 6 or 7 infantry. I'll count them out when I put them on the battle board. And then the third battle is going to be a naval engagement. This is the one that's kind of a 50-50 proposition. So Fighting Irish has got this combined Commonwealth U.S. fleet here in C-Zone 123. And that is these ships over here. Okay. And we are going to bring this entire Japanese fleet that's in 147. Okay. That can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and make it because we have the major naval port. Now the planes can't make it because they can only go 4, and it would take 4 just to reach the C zone. So I believe I've learned my lesson from my earlier naval and air combat. So I'm pretty sure that's correct. So the planes instead are just going to fly here to, what is this, Java, I think, yeah. So they're going to land in Java off of the carriers, and they should, I believe, be able to reach. If Java is too far, because it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, if that only gets them into the C zone and not on Java itself, then they can just land here in Celebes, 1 zone prior. But I'm going to put them in Java for now. They cannot participate. Then we've got these 4 light cruisers, and there again is a major port. So 1, 2, 3, they can reach. my two subs up here in Japanese home waters, again, they can go 4 because I made your ports 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this coastal subs pulling off of convoy rating and moving over 1 there as well. So those are going to be the 3 combat engagements. So let's go ahead. And again, this plane in Kyushu, 1, 2, kills off the transport and flies back to Kyushu. So we'll take off the Far East Command transport. Then we'll go ahead and do the land engagement first. So I've moved the battle boards over here onto the map. So he's got 2 infantry defending at 4s. Okay. And then I've got, now I'm going into all mountain territory, so I'm going to be -1. So I've got a cavalry, which is normally a 3. That's a 2. A motorized, which is normally a 2. That's a 1. And we have a total of 2, 4, 6. So 6 infantry, again, all at 1s. And that is complete mountain territory, so it's not just for the first round of combat. It's going to be for the entirety of the combat. So he's got 2 4s against 1 2 and 7 1s. So let's go ahead and roll our 7 1s first. So we get 7 rolls at our 1s here. And we get absolutely 0 hits. Par for the course. Then we get a 2. Oh, there you go. Look at that. So we get 1 hit. Okay, then Fighting Irish has 2 4s. And he does not get a hit, a 9 and a 10. So he's down to 1 unit. So we'll go ahead and roll our 7 1s again. And no hits. So we're 0 for 14 for the 1s. Our cavalry at a 2 misses. His infantry at a 4 misses with an 8. So we're on to round number 3. So 7 1s again. Oh, there you go. We got 1 hit. So that's his last infantry down. And we'll go ahead and roll his 1 4. And he got a 2, so he got a hit. So I'm going to go ahead and lose 1 of my infantry. So we move into Korea, retake Korea. So that's worth $2 up for Japan, $2 down for Fighting Irish. And now on to the big battle. Okay, so let's go ahead and put my units on the battle board first. So I got 2 subs at 3s. This coastal sub is a 2. We've got these 4 light cruisers that came from 99. So they're 5s. And then we've got 5 destroyers that came from off of New Zealand. So they're 4s. We've got 3 more light cruisers. Okay, they're 5s. We got a heavy cruiser at a 6. And we got 2 carriers, which we're taking along for hits. And then the planes, again, they can't engage. So we're just going to land them in Java. Hopefully they can reach, and that's fine there. Okay, now, so let's get Fighting Irish's units on the board here. So, a couple of battleships he's got. A battle cruiser. He's got 2 submarines. And they are, where are the submarines? 3. Okay. He's got a couple of transports, which are defenseless. Okay, he's got a tactical and a fighter. So the fighter and the tactical. He's got 2 light carriers. Those are 1s. He's got 2 heavy cruisers. Those are 6s. He's got some destroyers. 4 destroyers. So where are those? Those are 4s. Okay, so there we go. So this is probably, I think I have more units, but his units are defend at higher than mine attack. So again, this is probably about a 50-50 proposition, but we're going ahead. A couple of reasons why. First of all, Japan's now getting squeezed from the U.S. naval units that are coming off the west coast of the United States. So just to kind of sit back, they definitely do not have enough of Navy to hold off everybody. So what's the point of waiting? And the other thing is, if I can take out this British fleet down here, that will go ahead and wipe out all his transport. So hopefully prevent him from taking back Money Islands, at least for a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our dice. So we've got our subs, but both sides have destroyers. So I believe that negates the first strike ability for submarines. Let me just double check real quick. I'm going to pause this just to double check. Okay, I'm back. Just wanted to make sure that the presence of destroyers does negate first strike. So that is true. Okay, so no first strike. So let's go ahead. So for the Japanese, we have 1-6 for our heavy cruiser. So let's go ahead and roll for that. And we get a 2, so that gets a hit. Fighting Irish wanted the casualty order to be damage the battleships first, and then in descending order for the units in terms of highest defense to lowest. Okay, so we've got 1 hit so far. So let's go ahead and mark that with a die because I don't want to mess any of the hit count up. Okay, so now we have a total of 7 light cruisers. So that's 7 6s, or 7 5s, excuse me. So 7 5s. Let's go ahead and get our 7 dice. And we got, it looks like 3 hits. We got 3 6s, a 12, a 1, a 3, and a 4. So that's a total of 4 hits on Fighting Irish. Then we've got 5 destroyers at 4. And we get 1 more hit. So that's up to 5 hits on him. So that wasn't the greatest. Then we've got 2 regular subs at 3s. And we get 1 more hit. So that's up to 6. And then we got a sub at a 2, a coastal. And we do not get a hit. So 6 hits total for Fighting Irish on the first turn. So now he has 2 battleships at 8. Because even though they took damage, the combat is simultaneous. So for this first round, they're full battleships. So 2 8s. And he got an 8, and we'll call that a 3. So he got 2 hits. So let's keep track of Fighting Irish here at the top. So he got 2 hits. Then he's got a battle cruiser at a 7. An 8, that misses. Then he's got 3 6s. Okay. Let's go ahead and roll those. And he got 2 7s and a 9. So 3 misses for his 6s. Then he's got a 5 for the tactical. A 6 misses. And then he's got 4 destroyers at 4. So 4 4s. Holy shit. So, wow. 4 hits. That was absolutely devastating. Okay. Then he's got 2 submarines at 3. Wow. 2 more hits. So that's 8. And then 2 1s for the light carriers. A 2 and a 3. So, wow. That was absolutely unbelievable, the end of that. I thought I was going to come out in really good shape, and instead, he rolled lights out. Well, I rolled lights out for him, but same thing. Okay, so I have to suffer 8 hits. So I'm going to take my fleet carrier for 2, the light carrier for 1, so that's 3. 3 subs, that's 6, and 2 destroyers, that's 8. So those are my 8 losses. Okay. Then he's got to suffer 6 hits. So he wants the 2 battleships damaged. So they now have 1 hit each, and they're down to 6s. And then he wants, so that leaves 4 more hits. His 2 light carriers, his 2 subs, and 2 destroyers. Now, he didn't specify which nation he wants to take the destroyers from. I'm just going to take, for now, the U.S. and the Anzac destroyers, okay? So, or wait, no, that's too many hits. 2, 4, 6, 8, sorry. Take that back. He only got 6 hits. So we'll leave the 2 destroyers. So I got 6 hits total. So his 2 battleships are damaged. And then the 2 light carriers and the 2 subs for 6 total hits. Okay. So that's the end of the first round of combat. Okay. So now on to round number 2. I'm looking at a heavy cruiser, 7 light cruisers, and 3 destroyers I got left. Okay, so first we can take off the hit dice. Okay, first the heavy cruiser at a 6, and that got a 9, so of course we missed there. Then we get our 7 5s. Oh, there you go, some hits. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits total. Okay, so that's 4. And then we get 3 rolls at a 4 for our destroyers. And we get 2 more hits, so not too bad. So we got 6 hits altogether for the Japanese. Okay. Now, for Fighting Irish, he's got a battle cruiser at a 7, and he gets a hit, so that's 1 hit for him. Then he's got 2, 4, 5, 6s. So let's get out these. So 5 6s. And he looks like he's got 2 hits. He got a 12, an 8, a 9, and a 4 and a 5. So that's up to 3 hits for Fighting Irish. And then he's got his 4 destroyers. Now these hit on all 4 on the first round. And all 4 missed this time. So that wasn't a bad round for Japan. Inflicted 6 casualties to his 3. And honestly, now that I think about it, I don't know that my heavy cruisers hit 4 out of 7. I think they might have only hit 3 out of 7. So, so I'm going to take one of my hits off. I'm not going to go back and review the video right now. I want to finish this, this combat. So I think I might have only hit on 3 of my 7 heavy cruisers. I know I hit on 2 of the destroyers. So I'm going to say I only got 5 hits. If I did actually get 6, then obviously Fighting Irish has 1 more casualty this turn. If not, then it's 5-3 this round for me. So my 3 casualties are going to be my 3 destroyers. Okay, and then he's got 5 hits to suffer, which is going to be his 4 destroyers and his tactical bomber. Okay, so now we're on to round number 3. Okay, my heavy cruiser with a 6 and got a 3, so there's 1 hit. Maybe if I would have kept track with the dice earlier, I wouldn't have been in this position. Okay, so now we've got our 7 rolls of our light cruisers. And we go, wow, it looks like 5 hits. Okay, we got an 11 and 12, which missed, but then 3 2s and 2 3s. So 3, 5, okay, plus the 1, so that's 6. So we've got 6 hits on Fighting Irish, which I believe that's all his units left. Okay, so it looks like Japan will win this naval battle. Okay, so first his battle cruiser at a 7, and he gets a hit. So there's 1 hit for Fighting Irish. Okay, and then he's got 5 6s. And holy cow. He got a 9, 11, 2 8s, and a 6, so 1 more hit. So that's 2 hits for Fighting Irish. Okay? And that's it, because then besides that, the only thing he's got left is transport. So I've got to take off 2 hits, so I'm going to take 2 light cruisers. And then he has to take off 6 hits. Okay, the battle cruiser, the heavy cruisers, the 2 battleships that were damaged. So that's 3. That is exactly 6 hits. Okay, so that finishes off everything but the 2 transports. But now I still have naval units left, so obviously they just kill off those 2 transports. So we'll go ahead and take the 2 transports as casualties. Take them off the board. And so now I am in possession of that sea zone, and I have 5 light cruisers and 1 heavy cruiser left, okay? So I'll go ahead and remove his fleet marker, and I'll put my ships down there at the end of the turn here. So that should be everything except for non-combat moves. So the plane that took out the Far East Command transport flies back to Kyushu. These 3 infantry in Kyushu move up 1 territory to Honshu. So now they're right outside of Tokyo, those 3 infantry. Okay. And I believe that's it for non-combat. Again, if these planes can't reach Java, that would be the 4th move. Then instead they're going to land in Celebes. Now for unit placement, we're going to take our 2 fighters that we bought, and we're putting them in Kyushu. Okay. And then our 4 infantry are going in Tokyo. So Tokyo has 4 infantry and 2 coastal artillery. Okay. So then for income, Japan had went up $2 for taking Korea. So that put them back up to 19. The Far East Command went down to 21. Okay, so $19 for the Japanese. And let's take a look real quick at their wartime bonuses. Borneo, they no longer have. They still have Java, so that's $2. And they still have the Solomons, that's $1, so that's $3. So I believe they have $3 extra. So that's up to $22. And then besides that 22, they saved $2, that's $24. And then their wartime economy. So let's see what they get for that. 2 D6s. And they get a 6 and a 2, so 8. And they were up to 24, so that's $32. Japan should have, I believe, next turn. 19 in territory, 3 in bonuses, 2 left over, 24, and then the 8 for wartime economy. Yep. So $32 Japan has on turn number 11. So that finishes off Japan. I will now turn things over to Fighting Irish for the British Commonwealth French turn. See you guys at Italy 10.6.